63 degrees. Woo, the temperature's going whoosh. This is a good thing, getting hot. 8:09, it's Tuesday, May the 21st, just in case you weren't sure what day of the week it is. And I have a guest in the studio I'd like to introduce you to. Jeanette Rivera is here from Nourish Your Mind. She's the Director of Operations, and we're going to learn how to nourish our minds, I guess. Jeanette, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes. So Nourish Your Mind is, I was on your website and did a little creeping around to learn some. And you are a mental health organization. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So we originated as a private practice and we have blossomed over the last couple of years. So our CEO created us in 2015. And she founded it based on chronic and mental health issues.
Okay.
And then from there, she expanded the staff who all have versatile experiences. And we have advanced to be able to make sure we can serve the community and their mental health issues. And from there, we also kind of enhanced to a mind-body approach. So we also have yoga. We have nutritional counseling. We have various types of evidence-based modalities and approaches. So there's a little bit something for everyone.
Evidence-based modalities.
Yes.
I know all of those words, but I don't know what you mean when you say it.
Of course. So everything that we practice is evidence-based, meaning it is coming from something that has been proven and scientifically backed up to make sure that it is an effective way to treat people struggling with mental health issues.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So now you have locations where?
Yeah. So we have an office in Middletown, Goshen, Monroe, and Warwick.
And people can find the closest one by hitting up your website, I should think, which is?
Yeah. So nourishyourmind.com. And if you scroll down, there's a little button that says begin your journey. And from there, it begins your process to become a client. And on our website, too, is where you can find out all about our groups, our workshops, other opportunities. We also have a nonprofit sector that hosts events and free and reduced resources within the community. So it's all on the website, but it all starts with that green button of beginning your journey with us.
Okay, I moved away from that already, and
Sure.
I'm on the events page.
Yes.
So you do things with the community from time to time.
We sure do.
You want to tell us about that?
Absolutely. So we will host workshops. We have a nutritional workshop coming up. And then our biggest event of the season right now is our 5K that is hosted by our nonprofit. That's on June 1st, and it's going to be at the Warwick Middle School.
Okay.
And if anyone's interested, please register to run, or you can also donate. 8 a.m. is when our check-in is, and the race itself starts at 9. And this is to raise funds, but also raise awareness for PTSD.
For PTSD, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the title of it. It's called the Trot for Trauma 5K, which is, it's bringing to light an important issue, but it's also making it a little bit lighthearted, saying, yes, it has to be taken seriously, but you can still do this thing for it. So a 5K, you can walk it if you don't run?
Absolutely.
I only would run if there was someone chasing me.
No, we have plenty of walkers. We have some of the clinicians are bringing their families. We have other participants who are going to be pushing a stroller with their young ones. So it isn't so much about the race, but also if you want it to be, we will time it for those who are really excited about, PRing or anything like that.
Okay, well, that's fair, yeah.
But that's not the original mission statement of the event. But again, we're eclectic. We're happy to serve whatever needs people are looking for a good cause.
That's good to hear. So that event is Saturday, June 1st in Warwick, and you can look that up on the website, nourishyourmind.com. And that's one of the great ways that the community can get involved.
Yes. And I will say, too, there's something within our practice, there is something for everyone. And we are trying to build stronger connections in the community through our nonprofit. The biggest way that we've been doing that lately is through the schools. So our nonprofit offers free workshops. We're happy, some of our clinicians are happy to come to the school to make it convenient for everyone and help alleviate some of that burden on the school staff of trying to meet everyone's needs. And again, free. That's something we take pride in.
That's
as long as
important.
you're happy to have us, right? It's a way to build that bridge of any students who maybe don't have the finances or their parents are working and don't have the means to take them to our office for services. So we'll happily come to them.
Okay. Now, do you have to get the parents' permission to speak to a young person in school?
Yeah, so it varies based on the school district. We just recently did an event at Chester High School, and it was like a stress reducing workshop about like the final exams coming up.
Sure.
We've also done just education on anxiety and mental wellness overall, self-care. We've also been working with other districts about us creating a catalog of like, tell us what you guys need and we'll happy put something together for you for staff development, even things with eating disorders, intuitive eating. We're seeing trends shifting, right? School anxiety, school phobia, kids not feeling comfortable. So whatever trends the schools are seeing, we always have an open door policy of like, tell us what you need and we'll create it and we're happy to provide
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yes, if something starts turning into more and more and more of a problem, how would they know where to turn? But they can turn to you for help. That's
Absolutely.
good to hear.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've done that a couple of times where they're like, we have an influx of this, help us with this. And the next thing you know, we have a director of group therapy, and she is super creative and she'll put something together and then she'll talk to the staff of who's interested, who has a passion, who has the expertise to make sure that we're, again, building that bridge to giving people in the community what they need.
So I was thinking that here you're talking about, setting people up for individual therapy, which is a good, wonderful, helpful, useful tool. But you also have group therapy. And we were talking before you went on the air. I'm not familiar with group therapy other than what I've read in books.
Yes.
When is group therapy the best for somebody?
It depends on the person. I will say we have people who come to individual for a long time and they really don't need that one-on-one support anymore. We also have people who need to know they're not alone with their experiences, where they might want their first step through the therapeutic door to be in a group setting, to be like, okay, it's not all on me to talk. The spotlight gets to be shared amongst the other ones. But also within our groups, we have social skills groups where you're going to get that skill in a group setting where you can practice that with other people your age. We also have DBT groups, which is about emotional regulation, creative art therapy in a group setting, so you can share supplies and interact and also process feelings. And I know I already mentioned intuitive eating, but that's another one where just knowing I'm not alone in this battle of wanting a healthy relationship with my body and food.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you do have individual programs that I've never heard of before because you created them seeing a need.
Yes. And that's really where it evolves, right? Hearing more about something, clinicians wanting to like educate themselves more to make sure they're doing things properly, and then a group developing from it. And then they will, educate others within the practice, and will the practice is always happy to like sponsor and support further learning to make sure like we are on top of our game and providing what's most up to date.
Wow. That's a huge responsibility. So I salute you for that.
I appreciate it.
I want to hear more. We're talking with Jeanette Rivera of Nourish Your Mind. We're going to take a quick break and be right back on Wall. Quick break. Wall Radio 819 63 degrees. We're talking mental health and how to get there if you need some help with it. Jeanette Rivera is here from Nourish Your Mind. Now, I know there was a whole lot that you wanted to mention, so I don't want to hijack the conversation. You have notes with you, color-coded notes, which I respect.
Are you putting me on blast here?
Absolutely. Look at you. What is it that you wanted to be sure people know?
I wanted to make sure people knew that there is help in every form, right? So even if they have this stigma of what they think therapy is, I would encourage them to check out our website first, or even just give a call to see. Right, we talked about individual, we talked about the group format of how that can feel a little less formal and direct and pressured. But we also have something called accelerated resolution therapy, and about half of our staff have now gotten trained in it. And that uses eye movements to process traumatic events or phobias or like really uncomfortable sensations.
How does that happen?
So the client is completely in control. They're awake. They got it. But basically, the clinician is the tour guide. We go through the scene. We go through the event,
Mm-hmm.
and you're processing it through the eye movements. And what's happening is you're replacing the image with something else, and you're storing the traumatic event to a different part of the brain. So it no longer has that physical response.
Wow.
Yes. And why it's such a cool technique is you don't have to talk as much. So when we talk about veterans, when we talk about like male stigma, when we talk about assault or anything really traumatic.
Some things you just cannot put into words.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or you don't want to, or you don't want to process that out loud, right?
But there's still a way to get help.
Exactly. So it's through the eye movements, but you're in a safe place. You're with a clinician. Again, it's evidence-based. It's another one of those. And it's another way to get help. There's no reason anyone should be struggling alone and feeling that there's no solution. But also to my point earlier about yoga, meditation, body movement, there's other ways to move stuff within our bodies, right? Trauma and the mind and the body have a really interconnected relationship. So being able to move that is another form of healing without necessarily needing to talk about it. So anyone who's hesitant, I encourage them to give us a call because I feel confident that we can help them in any form that they're looking for.
That is putting it in a wonderful, compact statement, wrapping it all up and saying, I think we can help you no matter what.
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you, now, what is your certification? Like you're the director of operations, but are you also a counselor, a therapist?
I am, yeah. So I actually started at Nourish Your Mind a couple years ago as a clinician. And then I slowly was fortunate enough to be a part of the expansion of the practice and move my way up to becoming director of operations. So I also have my own caseload. I also do accelerated resolution therapy. And I think that's the way to stay connected to the community is to also be able to serve it in different ways.
Yeah, sure. Sure. I think this is wonderful work that you're doing. I think that the nonprofit arm of your organization also participated in HV Gives. Did you do okay?
We did okay.
Good.
Yes,
Good.
we love Hudson Valley Gives. And our nonprofit is on the newer end, so we're evolving, and that's where that 5K on June 1st is always a great event to attend if you want to support us in a different way and, again, raise awareness for PTSD.
Yes, certainly. And check out all the information for events and also for help at the website nourishyourmind.com. Is there anything we didn't cover that you wanted to get to?
No, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you coming into the studio. So nice to meet you, Jeanette Rivera of Nourish Your Mind on Wall Radio. Remember that website, very easy to remember, nourishyourmind.com. Thank you so much. Get back to music for a couple of minutes. It's the Tubes on Wall.